Last Sunday at Speaker's Corner, a Christian missionary known as Hatun was horribly stabbed by an assailant who I understand has not yet been caught. Like everyone, I unequivocally condemn this cowardly attack on a woman at Hyde Park, and I hope the attacker is caught and is punished. That being said, I've noticed since then in the UK media, I've looked at the Times, the Mail, and some very prominent Christian commentators, some of them academics and other Christian organizations, giving her, Hatun, uncritical support for her and her activities at Speaker's Corner, obviously in the wake of this attack. Now, perhaps they're doing this out of an outpouring of sympathy and support for her as a person, and in that case, I quite understand that. But surely they must be aware of what she actually does at Speaker's Corner. They forget to mention that on a regular weekly basis, she deliberately provokes Muslims. How? Well, the examples are legion. She deliberately has drilled holes, desecrated the Qur'an, and then brought that along regularly to Speaker's Corner to make a point. She regularly insults Islam. How? Well, she wears Charlie Hebdo cartoons. Now, of course, what happened to the cartoonist in Paris was very wicked, and I'm not in any way apologising or trying to explain that away. But to deliberately showcase cartoons that are known to be highly offensive to Muslims is very, very peculiar behaviour for someone who professes to be a Christian, to follow Jesus Christ, who said, at least according to the Gospels, love your enemies, do good to those other people who persecute you, and yet she doesn't tend to do that. She tends to be very provocative and deliberately so, week in, week out. Now, I've seen her for years. I've spoken to her. I know her, not very well, of course. She's not a friend or anything, but at a distance, I observe her, as we all do. And most sensible people tend to ignore her because she, in my experience, doesn't dialogue. She doesn't have a conversation. All she wants to do is destroy Islam. Now, such a person is not a normal Christian. Is not a mainstream Christian. I personally think she is an extremist. I think she is a fanatic. I think at some part of the back of her mind, she wants to be a martyr, actually, because why would someone behave in such a deliberately provocative way week after week in public, except unless they wanted some kind of martyrdom? Now, of course, I sincerely hope she doesn't get her wish. It's possible there are other issues to do with her background and her mental health. I don't know. I don't know her very well. But her behaviour is profoundly unacceptable and unchristian, even if it is legal. Not everything that is legal is good. Not everything that is within the law is moral and virtuous. Not everything that a Christian can do is Christian. I don't see other Christians or many other Christians behaving like this. It's a tiny minority. So I'm disappointed that the UK media is portraying her as a martyr for free speech. She's entitled to have free speech, of course. She's, in my view, perfectly entitled to criticise beliefs she does not share. However, what she does on a regular basis goes way beyond that. This is not just free speech. To deliberately insult and provoke and offend people, consciously and deliberately, because she has been told about this countless times, why are you behaving like this, is not to be a martyr for free speech, is not to embody the finest British values of tolerance with those with whom you don't agree with. She never shows respect for other people who are Muslims. So that's really what I wanted to say. I do reiterate the attack on her is utterly condemnable, and I wish the perpetrator faces justice. But she also, by her behaviour over the years, creates a situation where nutcases and evil, people themselves who shouldn't be around Speaker's Corner then can lash out at her. And she is not wholly indifferent to the situation that has been created. If you keep on provoking and attacking and in this nasty, vicious way that she verbally does on a regular basis, some nutter, some criminal is going to take an attack her. Now, I wish it wasn't so, but that is the real world. I know the police, who often come under criticism, have done their very best to try and stay within the law to protect her rights to free speech, such as they are, but also to advise her to tone down her rhetoric, to not be so provocative, and not to stop insulting people, because that's nothing to do with free speech. There's free speech, and then there's insulting people. And many Christians, prominent Christians now, don't seem to see the difference. And I wonder if there's an agenda at work here. The agenda is that she is a Christian missionary, and therefore we should support her because she's anti-Islam. Maybe that's an agenda that some academics, I won't mention the name, there's one at Cambridge University who is quite a senior academic there, an evangelical Christian, who has come out to give his admiration and praise and support for her. I'm thinking, what? Support her in her personal suffering in terms of what's happened to her, but do not support her uncritically in her activities, because she is doing a great disservice to social cohesion, to our society in Britain, where Muslims as well are often the victims of attacks, unprovoked attacks, and she never defends Muslims. And when they are attacked, it's always about her and her views. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. I just wanted to get that off my chest. And also, I've been criticised for not saying anything as well. And I didn't really want to say anything about this attack because, regrettable though it is, I'm not I had to report on everything in the world. But I did want. Now it's become a national media event in a way, and many people are coming out and supporting her uncritically. I thought I just wanted to say something. Let's give her support in terms of hoping she gets well soon and her attacker faces justice, but let's not give her support in her egregious activities at Speaker's Corner. Till next time.